Hi, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good whatever time it is, wherever you may be. My name's Sarah Ahmed, and welcome to Conversation with me, Sarah Ahmed, and
Samina Mahmood.
okay, today we are talking about the unfortunate death of Zainab. We're not going to talk about the death as much. We're going to talk about how to prevent something like this happening again. So, Samina, this awful thing that you have campaigned for, I mean, you went to the Pakistan embassy, you've took a lot of effort and awareness, and you know more about this situation that's happening in Pakistan. We're not going to talk about that today because there is a lot to cover, but as we all know, history far too often has a habit of repeating itself. How do we prevent something like this happening again?
The first thing is that the most important thing is that we get to the bottom of it. The culprit who did kidnap Zainab, and the case is ongoing, so we can't really discuss it too much. But it's about raising awareness, and that's what I've tried to do with yourself and with other women, because as mothers, you know, we do see and hear a lot of really bad negative information about Pakistani people, and it's not necessarily only in Pakistan this has happened. It happens the world over, so it's just raising awareness.
Okay, now Zainab was a child. Zainab was a baby girl, and the men who took her, he was a grown man. And what we don't want to see is a repeat. We can't change the past, you know. We can't bring Zainab back. But how do we stop something like this happening to another Zainab? How do we educate a generation of men, a generation of boys, that you don't do this?
There's so many campaigns in the UK. I'm not aware of them in Pakistan, and I think they need to copy certain campaigns that we have in the UK, because clearly the Islamic angle is not working. Islamically, morally, this is an injustice to any child, to take their innocence away, to take them from their families, to not inform anybody about the whereabouts. Even after they've killed the child, they're not disclosing anything.
Now, Pakistan is a land which is, I'd say, it was more governed by tradition rather than tradition and culture than by Islam. I mean, you know, I've said it often before. You know, where religion conflicts with tradition and culture, people will always pick tradition and culture over Islam, unfortunately. Now, from the grassroots, I mean, you know, these horrible, evil people that did it, I mean, you know, in Pakistan, there's a lot of priority and a lot of esteem is bestowed upon boys. And I've said it as well. I mean, you know, we've got to get it right from the grassroots. I mean, you know, boys should be educated as children, you know, respect girls. You know, they're girls. Don't hit them. Don't shout at them. Don't talk over them. Basically, just, you know, respect them. Equality. And you know, you've got to talk to them. You've got to ask them. You've got to ask their permission, and you know that somebody's daughter. And you know, from the grassroots, they should be taught in mosques. They should be taught in schools.
Yeah.
It should be on the curriculum. You know, they should be taught that, you know, you know, whatever it is, you have no right to bully a girl. You have no right to do this to a girl. You know, a girl is not an object. She isn't something that you can just collect, take away and dispose.
Yeah, it's somebody's daughter, somebody's sister, you know, and at the end of the day, those values are really, really important, because one day those children are going to grow up, and God forbid, you know, they're going to be disturbed for the rest of their lives.
So, well, with these girls, I mean, you know, it is coming out in the press. I mean, it's not just that happens in Pakistan. It does happen all over the world. So we now need, the first thing that we've done is that the awareness is there. But how do we just educate the boys? Because the mindset in Pakistan,
Absolutely.
I mean, I know you don't have any brothers, but your friends have got brothers growing up. I mean, did you see the difference in treatment that the sons got over the daughters in your friends' houses?
Well, absolutely. I mean, the boys have more freedom. They stay out till late in the night. It's about parents knowing where the children are going. and even as they're growing up, you know, just knowing, you know, which house are they at, you know, who is it that they're interacting with, because a lot of abuse happens to people that you know, or happens by people that you know, whether
It's
it's
very
friends
sad.
or whether it's relatives. And all of this information is really, really important, because we don't want these repeat cases to keep coming up. And I know, you know, the law here is much more stricter, and there is a process that takes place, and there is a register. Whereas in other countries, they don't have a register. Somebody can be a sex offender, and they can come out, do their sentence, come out of prison, and they can just go out and get another job in another mosque or in a school.
Now that there is, I mean, is there a I mean, are Pakistani mothers and fathers far too tolerant of sons being abusive to the daughters? I mean, like, say for example, you know, the son, he hits the sister, he's rude to his sister. You know, the mother will be like, "Don't worry, he's a boy."
Well, mothers are more prone to tolerating boys' behaviour anyway. They could be on drugs, they could be drinking, you know, and that's in the UK as well. So a lot of the times, you know, as a mother myself, I know I've seen a lot of mothers that will put up with the boys' behaviour, but they wouldn't put up with the girl's behaviour. If the girl wants to go out at night or go clubbing or do shisha, you know, it's frowned upon. But if
So-
the boy's doing it, it's alright, it's a boy. He's
Yeah.
just, you know,
So that's kind of like,
exploring his boundaries.
yeah, so that's kind of like sending out big signals to the girls out there. It's okay for it's okay for my brother to go to shisha, but it's not okay for me to go to shisha. It's okay for him to be there. It's okay for him to do that. You know, he's just done really badly at school. You know, he failed all his A levels. He's learned to drive, and Daddy's got him a new car.
Yeah.
Whereas I studied really hard, and what have I got? I mean, it's like daughters are being punished for being female, and that's really sad. And what we need to do is we need to make daughters know that, you know what, they can be confident, and you know they do deserve rewards. We should, you know, reward our sons and daughters equally.
I think something has been lost over the generations, because yeah, we have the same rights. We can vote, we can do all the, you know, outside stuff, but then in our homes and in our houses, it's still stereotypically a girl's duty to do the washing up, to do the cleaning, ironing, and whether you get married or not, but as you're growing up, those duties are still, I think, set for girls.
But the thing is, it's the abuse that's the issue. Okay, the domestic chores aside, I mean, from the home, they need, should boys, you know, it's sad. I mean, you know, if a boy is naughty, he should be told off. He should be reprimanded, saying, no, you can't do this. Because when he's a son, when he's a boy, then you can discipline him, you can shout at him. But when he becomes older, and as an older child, as an adult child, then heaven forbid, the hand that he raises on his sister, he could raise on his mother.
Absolutely, but at the moment, my main concern is the safety and the security of girls, and the innocence that those girls are losing. It has a long-term effect, and I can't stress that enough. The campaigns that are going at the moment is to raise awareness, to make sure that no man, no boy can actually lay their finger on a little girl.
But the problem is, some of it is so deep rooted. I mean, we can't do anything for we can't do anything for our elders and, you know, our grandparents and our parents' generation, because it's in their mindset. That thinking is ingrained. I mean, in Pakistan's, in the village, that thinking is very heavily in the mindset, where, you know, the boys are out, the men are out, and the girls are locked away. I mean, you know, the girls are locked up in the house at 7 o'clock. So, you know, we have to get that message out there to the villages, to the community.
It's a society, isn't it? It's a society that we're living in, that we live in fear, and we don't want children to grow up in that society. They shouldn't have to.
Okay, so what we need now is evolution. Evolution is a slow process, but hopefully together, I mean, you know, if we all do our little bit, everybody, you know, contributes, you know, we keep the conversation going, because the first step is talking about it, and then once we've talked about it, we can act upon it, but we do need to get that message out there.
Thank you very much for watching, and do follow us on YouTube channel. Thank you.
Thank you very much for watching.
Uba.
Stop.